Hi everybody, it's your boy, and I know I've been really busy and I've not been making much content, but this week I'll have time to make the usual amount that I try to make, plus I've got some big projects on the horizon which you should check out for in unusual places, I might add. But anyway, today's video is going to be about the sanitisation of YouTube, in my opinion, and why it's happening. So the first things first, YouTube has been changing things technically. So we've seen them messing with the subs box and other things like the algorithm, but the algorithm stuff we already know about. But another thing is the subs box. Now, people have only recently, at least the big mainstream YouTubers that I've been seeing, have been complaining about how this sacred thing that YouTube has never touched until now is finally being touched because YouTube is experimenting with a non-chronological form of the sub box. But it's like they've been tampering with it for years. I don't know where you've been. You guys have complained about people not being able to see your videos in their sub boxes. Now, YouTube did eventually explain why that is the case, because they think people don't want to see videos all the time, so they just don't show it them. Yeah, right. That's just one reason, I reckon. Another reason is because censorship. They don't want you to see certain things, and they're just testing that out. They're just experimenting to see what they can throttle, and how they can get away with it, essentially. And that's one of the ways they're going to sanitize YouTube and turn it into a advertiser-friendly place. Because to say it's family-friendly really isn't accurate, because a lot of the YouTube channels that they would push as family-friendly are not actually family-friendly. They're just advertiser-friendly. That's what it actually is. So when we're discussing family-friendly content, we're talking about advertiser-friendly content, because as you've seen, it isn't actually family friendly. Jake Paul and Logan Paul are not family friendly, and neither are the other YouTube channels that have been exposed, that have been allowed to become so big and also, you know, pushed by YouTube, like Daddy05 and those disgusting Spider-Man and Elsa videos and channels. You know, they're not family friendly at all. They're creepy and disgusting and abusive. They were pushed because they were advertiser friendly and because they got loads of clicks from little kids. Why do they want it to be advertiser friendly? Well, it's simple. They want more money. That's why. They want money, and they think that if they make it advertiser friendly, it'll also save the website, even though the website is being slowly killed by themselves. They've never really ran on a profit anyway. It's Google basically pumping money into it to keep it afloat. So I don't understand why they're so bothered. Another reason is because advertisers are hypocritical. They will, on the one hand, advertise on CNN where there's death, destruction, rape and famine and poverty and God knows what else. You know, things we're not allowed to talk about on here. Or at least, if we do talk about it, it will be demonetized. But they can't do that on YouTube because normal people, at least mostly normal people, discuss it. And we all know that they and the old media are in bed with each other, and it's a symbiotic relationship, and they do see us as a threat. Now, I don't know why an advertiser would find me a threat to their livelihood, because I'm not even promoting them. I don't have any say in what AdSense puts on my videos if it does. And I don't see how me saying something similar or different to a CNN anchor somehow means that I would be jeopardising their brand. That doesn't really make sense. And I don't understand why YouTube has to punish me for the hypocritical actions of an advertiser. Surely, in the spirit of capitalism and business, you would just seek out another cola company or another company entirely to fill it in that void. Surely, I mean, hell, you could probably get loads of other ones to fill the big void that Coke and Pepsi might leave. I mean, there's a hole in the market, right? But hey, they want that big money bucks. So how do they set about dealing with this problem? Well, I guess they'll just get in bed with them. And the best way to get in bed with them is to bring in their people into YouTube. So you can imagine all the talk show hosts like Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, let's put them in on YouTube. Let's push their YouTube channels, which are really just glorified highlight reels. They don't show the actual full TV show on YouTube. They don't live stream it. They just post the highlights. And they can talk about all the things that I can't talk about without being demonetized, and they'll be monetized. And we'll bring in Jake and Logan Paul from Disney. We'll bring in the old Viners who've lost their channels due to the site closing down. Yeah, they'll bring in all those kids, and we'll push those channels out, and that will make us look better. That'll make us look more advertiser friendly because they're their people. They're old media people. They're the ones backed by investors. They're the ones backed by agents and companies, and that will make them all very, very happy. At least that's what YouTube thinks. However, because it's Jake and Logan Paul, controversies will happen and the advertisers will run away. And they will run away because they have YouTube by the balls. But regardless, that is what is happening, and that's what YouTube thinks sanitisation will help. Another thing also is, well, they're social justice warriors, and they don't like the content that I make, they don't like the content Sargon makes, or the alt-right makes, or anything else that is deemed controversial. They've been wanting to get rid of us probably for quite a while now, and now they're just experimenting with throttling on the subscription feed and pushing these channels up to the forefront and curating the trending page so that we get, you know, basically sidestepped by the algorithm and by people. We're pushed to the corner so that people don't watch us. Even though the live streams that we do and the videos that we do will get millions of views or hundreds of thousands of views or thousands of views, that doesn't matter. We're damaged goods, we need to be jettisoned. And YouTube thinks that this will make the money, this will grow the company, this will make the website better. How? Your competitor is old media, is TV, so why are you becoming TV? Why are you trying to be like Hollywood? Why are you trying to be like Netflix and Amazon Prime? They're not your competition. You're two completely different platforms, yet you're trying to become like them because you think you're losing the battle. So you're willing to basically destroy everything that is good about YouTube in order to basically transform it into old media's image so that old media can perpetuate when really it should be dying. Really, YouTube? That's what you want? That's what they want. You're doing what they want because you're worried about making money. Even though YouTube has managed to run at a loss due to Google's funding for nearly 12 years now. And I'll be honest, I don't really know what we're supposed to do on this site. And the thing is, YouTube is so big and it covers pretty much the entire globe, apart from the places where it's banned and blocked, that an effective boycott is impossible. I mean, yeah, we might get all the English language YouTubers, I mean actual proper YouTubers, you know, normal people making content, or at the very least those who've been around for a long time who are big. We could all stop using YouTube now and boycott it, but there's still French YouTube, there's still German YouTube and African YouTube, and any of those YouTube channels, they'll still probably be making content. Most of them won't be able to understand the word we're saying about a boycott. It's just impossible, it's not going to work. And another thing is, they've cornered the market so well, YouTube, that the competition, the quote-unquote competition, can't grow. Or if a new one comes around, they'll die, like VidMe, because YouTube has a monopoly. So people can go on about the market will decide, the market can do this, the market will do that. Well, the market's not doing shit for YouTube because Google's messing with it. It's not going to happen. An effective competitor will not arrive. And I saw on Baited Podcast that they wish that people like HBO or I don't know, another old media company can create its own competitor. That's old media, so we want to go from YouTube to HBO. Why would HBO care about the little man? Why would they care about normal people making normal content or making their own content like short films or vlogs? Why? Why would they care? They would rather have Game of Thrones or whatever they do on HBO have precedence over that. So they'll rather just change YouTube into their image like the other companies are. Why? It doesn't make sense. We can get rid of Susan Wojcicki, however her name is pronounced, but Google will simply replace her with somebody probably worse or the same. And even then, she won't be fired because she's their guy and she's been there since the very beginning. Google started off in her garage, basically. So she's going nowhere, even though it's an abject failure her term as CEO has been. The YouTube community, the actual YouTube community as a whole, are too divided. We're too spaced out. We're not in contact with everybody to form an effective protest and to just leave en masse. It'll never happen because YouTube is too important for our lives and our livelihoods and our content. And let's be honest, despite its glaring flaws, it's still the best video site. Vimeo's rubbish, Dailymotion is rubbish. They're all rubbish. VidMe was rubbish. It was terrible. It was a shit platform. Facebook's even worse. And Twitter's even worse. None of them will ever approach YouTube's levels of video content making. It just won't. No matter if Ray William Johnson goes to Facebook, fuck it. It's not going to happen. But anyway, who knows? Maybe I'm just dooming and glooming. And I don't really like doing that usually, but I can't think of anything. Because there's no effective competition because the market's fucked. So anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Otherwise I'll start repeating myself. Until next time, it's been your boy, and I'll see you later.